students, greetings to you all. I am Dr.F.Sweetlyn Christy, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Professional Accounting, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivahasi. Today's topic is political environment. Already you have to learn about all the macro environment of the business. Today we are going to know about the political environment. That means you can think how the political environment affect the business. So you have to learn from this smart session about the political environment. Straight away get into the topic. The objective of the today's topic is first one to acquire the knowledge about the political environment, and second one is to analyze how the political environment affect the business. Political environment. Political environment is one of the external environment factors which affect the business. It can impact positively or negatively depending on the situation, business and other factors. Political environment constitutes all the factors related to the government affairs, such as the type of government in power, attitude of government towards different groups of societies, policy changes implemented by the different government, etc. The political environment has immediate and great impact on the business transactions. So, businessman must scan this environment very carefully. The next one is importance of political environment. Political environment can be of the utmost importance for a business. How a government make policies and what kind of economic measures it takes can determine the success or failure of the business. Promoting a particular kind of business can lead to increase the revenues of industries and players in that sector, but can lead to losses for others. Government also considers all these risks and reflects that because of the sudden or prolonged changes to the political environment can lead to the impact on the GDP of overall economy. The other important aspect in the foreign investment and companies in a country. If the political environment is not good for foreign investment, then it can lead to loss of the internal business and investment indirectly affect the domestic players. So, overall political environment should be stable and change as per the market demands or for safeguarding interests which are suitable for overall stabilization and growth of economy. Then next one is element of political environment of business. In a simple sense, some of the factors of political environment include the government's actions and influence the business organizations' operations. So, we can see one by one. First one is government institution. These are the structures and bodies that hold authority in a country, such as legislative bodies, executive branches and administrative agencies. So, government institutions create and enforce laws, regulations and policies that impact how the business function. So, they can offer support through the favorable policies or pose changes through strict regulations. Then second factor, the second element is political parties. The political parties represent different ideologies and interests with the nation. Changes in government due to election can lead to shifts in priorities and policies. Business need to navigate these changes and may align themselves with certain parties or advocate for policies that align with their interest. The third element is national sovereignty. This refers to a country's independent authority and control over its own affairs. Businesses must respect a nation's sovereignty while operating within its borders, adhering to its laws and regulations. National sovereignty can also affect the international trade agreement and foreign investment. The next element is policy changes. Sometimes the government enact the policies to achieve specific goals such as economic growth, social welfare or environmental protection. Changes in policies such as taxation, trade regulations or industry incentives can have the impact on the business profitability and growth strategies. The next element is regulatory laws. Regulations set by the governments govern the various aspects of the business that includes the labor practices, product safety, environmental impact and more. Compliance with these laws is crucial to avoid legal consequences and maintain a positive reputation. The next element is political stability. A stable political environment provides a predictable business landscape, enabling the organization to plan and invest with confidence. So, the next one is international relations. Global business are also affected by the diplomatic relationship between countries. International trade agreement, tariffs, sanctions and geopolitical tensions can impact the cross-border transaction and expansion opportunities. These are all the elements of the political environment that affect the business. Then, how political environment affect the business with some example. So, first one is taxation policies. The way a government set taxes can impact business. Higher taxes might mean lower profits, making it harder to invest in growth. Lower taxes can encourage the business to expand their hire more people, boosting the economy. The second example, the trade regulations. Governments make rules about trading with other countries. If a government puts high taxes, that is tariffs, on imported goods, it can make those goods more expensive and affect business that rely on them. Trade agreement between the countries can also open up new markets for business. Then next example, subsidy policies. Subsidies can help the business by providing financial assistance. However, they can also create the opportunities for corruption. Then the next one is political stability. When a country is politically stable, it means there is less risk of sudden changes that could disrupt business operation. Instability, like frequent changes in government, can create uncertainty for business and make it harder to plan for the future. The next example for the regulatory laws. Government make the laws that business must follow, like rules about making the products safe or protecting the environment. These laws can affect how business operate, from how they produce goods to how they treat their employees. The next example is for the corporate governance policies. Corporate governance policies can also affect the business ability to operate in a country. A country may have laws that requires the companies to disclose their financial information. So, sometimes the data protection laws, it's also adhere to the country's data protection laws, and it could face the difficulties operating in that nation. So, the country may have laws that require companies to protect their personal data of the customers. The next one is antitrust or competition rules. Depending on the country, antitrust or competition rules might limit how a business can operate. A country may have laws that prevent the companies from engaging in anti-competitive practice. The next example is labor regulations. It can also prevent a business from being able to operate in a country. The country may have laws that require the companies to provide employees benefit, such as the health insurance. The next one is the intellectual property laws. A business ability to operate in a country can be affected by the nation's intellectual property laws. A country may have laws that protect the company's trade secrets. Then environmental law, it can make some difficult for the business to operate in a country. A country may have laws that requires companies to reduce their emissions of greenhouse gases. So, these are all the example for the political environment and how to affect the business. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this session, and we can meet again with a new topic. Thank you.